Every World Cup is a special occasion, but of course there are some that were so dramatic they simply never fade away from memory. Remember France '98 or Germany 2006? Let's take a look at the top 10 best World Cup tournaments ever. Number 10. West Germany, 1974. This was the year when the new FIFA World Cup trophy, which is still in use today, was introduced. Once again, 16 teams competed, including debutants from East Germany, Haiti, and Zaire, now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo. East and West Germany even competed in the same group, and the hosts were defeated. Despite the defeat, West Germany was still seen as the second favourite, trailing only to the strong Dutch team. The Netherlands displayed total football, led by their superstar Johan Cruyff. The Netherlands scored 14 goals before the final while conceding only one, making it one of the most dominant teams in World Cup history. However, after the Netherlands gained an early lead, West Germany staged a massive comeback and scored 2 goals and won the title. Number 9. Mexico, 1970. This was the final tournament in which the Jules Rimet Trophy was awarded, and it was certainly the best at the time. Once again, 16 teams competed for World Cup glory, with 8 teams progressing from the group stages to the quarterfinals. While many feared that the excessive heat and altitude would affect the soccer quality, there were nearly 3 goals in each game. Even though the competition brought back all the previous champions, no one disputed that Brazil was the overwhelming favourite. Number 8. Brazil, 2014. When soccer returned to Brazil in 2014, everyone had high hopes. Almost all of the best teams, including all past World Cup champions, qualified. The tournament produced various stunning results, but the most shocking was the elimination of title holders Spain, who were eliminated after losing the first 2 games. Italy and England were also humiliated, as Costa Rica won their group. Nonetheless, the knockout phase was full of surprises, with favourites Brazil, Germany, the Netherlands and Argentina achieving medals. While the final wasn't very memorable, Germany's 7-1 demolition of Brazil was incredible. Another surprise was that, despite losing the final and playing poorly, Leo Messi was named the tournament's top player. Number 7. Switzerland, 1954. Opinions about the 1954 World Cup are split, which is not surprising given the unusual nature of the competition. This was the first competition that looked anything like the present FIFA World Cups. For the first time since 1934, 16 teams competed, divided into 4 groups, with the top 2 teams advancing to the quarterfinals. However, because of the unusual round-robin arrangement, the 2 top-seeded teams never played each other. This was also by far the highest-scoring World Cup, with nearly 5.5 goals scored per match. However, this is mostly due to the fact that there are several weak teams in the competition that year. South Korea, for example, conceded 16 goals in only 2 games. Also memorable is Austria's 7-5 victory over Switzerland in the quarterfinals. Still, the biggest event occurred in the final, when West Germany stunned favourites Hungary. This happened despite being down 2-0 after barely 8 minutes of play. As a result, Germany ultimately became a giant in this tournament, while Hungary sank into obscurity. Number 6. Germany, 2006. Because the 2002 FIFA World Cup was such a letdown, everyone had high hopes for the first tournament in undivided Germany. The hosts were not among the favourites this time, but they made their presence known. 8 nations made their World Cup debuts, including sides like Togo and Trinidad and Tobago. Nobody mentioned Italy or France, former World Cup champions. Both teams were not regarded as favourites, with practically everyone focusing on one side, Brazil. However, these 2 teams made it to the final, and the most memorable moment occurred when the great Zinedine Zidane was sent off for headbutting Materazzi. Italy then went on to win the trophy. This tournament provided us with many classics, including magnificent long-distance goals and a fairy tale story of 2 titans regaining their dominance. Oh, and this World Cup had a very weird moment when Switzerland was eliminated even though they didn't concede any goals in all 4 games. Number 5. Russia, 2018. Many people were suspicious about the first World Cup being held in Eastern Europe, but Russia proved to be the ideal host. The tournament this year saw Panama and Iceland make their debuts. There was only one surprise in the first round, but it was the biggest. Germany, like Spain 4 years earlier, were ousted in the first round after 2 defeats. Also, it looked like a miracle was going to happen when England finally beat Colombia on penalties. However, after reaching the quarterfinals, their title hopes were dashed by Croatia. That Croatia team was the tournament's biggest surprise. They couldn't, however, match France in the final, a thriller which saw 6 goals. Finally, let us not forget the outstanding Belgian Red Devils, who took 3rd place. While there weren't many unforgettable moments, Russia 2018 provided us with high-quality soccer and tight games. Number 4. Mexico, 1986. The World Cup competition was originally granted to Colombia, but it was switched to Mexico, making it the first country to host it twice. It was a major challenge for the country, which had been devastated by a terrible earthquake in 1985. Despite this, they valiantly prepared for the competition in the year of the catastrophe at Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Like in the previous competition, 24 teams competed, but only 16 advanced to the knockout stages. This also meant that despite only gaining 2 points in their groups, Bulgaria and Uruguay qualified for the elimination phase. But it was a player regarded as the best of all time who made this tournament legendary. No one in World Cup history has been as influential as Diego Armando Maradona. In 7 games, he scored 5 goals and provided 5 assists, the last of which helped his team win the championship. Many will recall his contentious quarter-final performance against England. He first scored the ugliest goal in history with his hand, before scoring the finest. He passed 5 players before scoring after receiving the ball in his own half. No man in World Cup history has ever performed like this. Number 3. France, 1998. The new format was established in France in 1998, with 32 teams competing for the title. We saw Croatia, Jamaica, Japan, South Africa, and FR Yugoslavia for the first time. Following the 1994 edition, the caliber of teams was likely the highest in history. Brazil and France were among the favourites, but we also saw players from England, Argentina, and the Netherlands. Many people pointed to FR Yugoslavia as having the best team in history. However, they were eliminated in the round of 16. Other favourites advanced steadily, with Croatia being the sole surprise, taking bronze. France's 3-0 victory over Brazil in the final is one of the most unforgettable moments, but there are so many other matches we want to see again and again. Even with the foolish and short-lived golden goal rule, it was truly a fantastic World Cup. Number 2. Spain, 1982. For the first time, 24 teams qualified for the World Cup, including Kuwait, which never repeated its success. According to the teams and players who participated, this was one of the strongest tournaments. Maradona was finally unveiled to the world, but everyone was talking about Brazil's great side. Many people compared this team to the one that won the championship in 1970. However, it was not to be, as Italy shocked everyone by eliminating them after the second group round and going on to win the title that no one predicted. The hero was striker Paolo Rossi, who scored 6 goals and was the leading scorer. Not forgetting the controversial referee decisions in the host country's games and the dishonourable arranged match between Germany and Austria. Number 1. USA, 1994. Even the most ardent optimists doubted that the 1994 FIFA World Cup would be remembered fondly. After all, soccer is not a popular sport in the United States. However, after the tournament began, everyone discovered how incorrect they were. Every game was watched by about 70,000 people on average, and there was so much to see. Never before or since have so many soccer legends gathered, notwithstanding the absence of England and Yugoslavia, who were suspended. Despite the heat, the bouts were thrilling, and it was difficult to pick the most memorable ones. We've watched Roger Milla score at 42 years of age, Russia thrash Cameroon 6-1, Saudi Arabia advanced from the group stage, and Argentina once again led by Diego Maradona. He was later suspended though. His suspension for using weight loss supplements remains highly controversial, and it was the reason his side failed to advance to the round of 16. Meanwhile, it was a thrill to watch Brazil play exciting attacking soccer with a very young Ronaldo, while the Italians displayed their defensive prowess. Brazil's final victory was underwhelming, but the 1994 World Cup remains the gold standard. Also, who can forget the infamous penalty miss? And that's all for today, guys. Do you think we missed anything? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Also, make sure to watch this video in the link, and if you like our content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. On the screen now should be another good video worth watching. So click on that video, and we will see you in the next one.